Good evening, everyone. Please. So my name is Ebenezer Nyako, and today our host for the program is supposed to be Ebenezer Kote, but earlier on he sent me a message that he's in a car. He's now getting to the house. So when he get to the house, he will take over from there. So I'm just stepping in for him. Okay. So let's kindly introduce ourselves and then we begin the show.
Good evening. I'm in the person of Mohsen Mumuni.
Okay, Mumuni, thank you for having you here today. And it's been a great pleasure since we started this show to have you on this wonderful program.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Please, the next person can do the introduction.
Okay, good evening. This is Boachi Joe here, based in Kaswa, and here to share my thoughts on the conversation. Thank you.
Yeah, Boachi, we are grateful for having you here today too. I think last week we did had a lot of ideas from you, and today we are glad to have you here too. Please, the
Thank
next
you. I'm
person.
glad to be here.
Hello, Sharif. Sharif, please, can you do us the honor to introduce yourself? Okay, I'm sure Sharif might be having a technical issue at his end. So let's continue. When he comes on board, then we will give him the chance to introduce himself. Okay. So as I said earlier on, I'll be your minor host for today. The main host will come in later. So this program is brought to you by the Kuche Foundation, and they are the main sponsor of this show. And we are glad to have them organize the youth to discuss some current issues going on in the country and the global issues as well. Okay, and I believe we all watched the video on this KNUST issue.
Actually, I wasn't part of the group when the link was shared, so I didn't have the chance to watch it.
So you mean you are not on the WhatsApp platform?
I am on the platform, but I joined after the videos were shared in a way.
Oh, wow. Because I did send those YouTube videos earlier. But all the same, maybe you've heard of the story before, so I don't think it will be a big issue here. Is there anyone who was able to watch? Mumuni, did you watch?
Yeah, I think I also joined the WhatsApp page very late, and the time I joined, information wasn't shared about what you are talking about.
Okay. I see. Wow.
Quickly, can you brief us about what it was?
Okay, so this incident happened on somewhere February, that's the earlier of this year, and then it was a terrible incident involving fatal between two biological sciences students dating on KNUST campus. So the boy in question is called Nana Daniel Tufuo, and then the lady in question is called Joanna Yabani. Okay, so they dated from their first year, and right now they are in their fourth year, according to the story. Okay, so it happened that the next morning, the lady died. Okay, was killed by someone. So the police and then other security personnel have to do proper investigation to get the main killer of the incident. That is a brief of the story.
Yeah, it seems I've heard of that story.
Okay, okay. Okay, so our first question for the day is, when love turns deadly, lessons from the KNUST student's murder case. Example, the tragic case where a KNUST boy allegedly killed his girlfriend after a toxic, abusive relationship. So, can anyone tell us, I mean, according to the story, what are some of the likely routes, or what are some of the likely causes of the event, or the whole killing of the lady? And what are your thoughts on the case? Mumuni, can you please start with us?
Please, can you please repeat the question for me? I didn't get it clearly.
So the question is, lessons from the KNUST students murder case. And this is the case. The tragic case where a KNUST boy allegedly killed his girlfriend after a toxic and abusive relationship. So what are some of the lessons from the story?
I think from the start of the story to the end, one lesson is that if you are in a relationship, you kindly take your time to know the person you are dealing with. And no matter what the circumstances, try to play safe. If there is a confusion or a misunderstanding between the two of you.
Okay, so what do you think caused the killing of the lady, the Joanna Yabani? What are some of the
For the
likely
killing of the
cause?
lady, I think the news that was reported, they didn't indicated what inspired the killing. But by then, according to the report, they were like the police is looking onto that. Then up to now, I don't know, have not been following the case that much. For that, I don't think I can be able to tell the reason for the killing of the lady. But
Okay.
subjectively, I think it was just maybe something that the boy was annoyed over and wasn't able to control his temper.
All right. Okay, that's not bad. So let's take Boache. Boache, what do you also say?
So from the story I heard, it seems it is still an unsolved matter, if I'm correct. Hello.
Yeah, Boache.
Yes, is the case, has it been solved or is still pending?
I think the case is still pending. Still, the guy is still in jail. Yes, it's still pending. They've not finalized the case yet.
Okay. Then I may think, I really don't know why, if he is the one who did the killing. I don't know why, what came over him to do that. But just as my brother rightly said, Muni, you have to get to know the person well. If maybe the gentleman may have felt jealousy that the girl is getting closer to another male or something, that may have led to him doing that. But I don't know the facts. I cannot say for certain that he did it. But there are many, many factors involved. And that may be one. When the partner begins to feel as though the other partner is cheating on him or her, And also it may also be to how he grew up in the family. If he experienced such things, then automatically it will rub off him, and in the future he may also practice that in his or her relationship. So that's my submission.
Okay, okay, that's nice. Sharif, let's hear you,
Yeah,
Sharif.
hello. Yeah, hello.
Yeah, Sharif, we can hear you.
Yeah. So, please, what's going on here?
Well, we are talking about the issue of a KNUST boy killing his boyfriend, his girlfriend, okay, in the month of February, early month of this year. That is what we are talking about. And we want to know what are some of the likely cause of the death of the lady. And then what are some of the lessons as students or as young people, what are we supposed to, learn from this incident so that none of us will prey victim in the future to come?
Yeah, right. I heard about that story. Um, so I think I didn't really read much into it, but then my input would be I think we don't really take our time to hang out with people. We just randomly people just hang around with people. You know what I mean by that is how do I put it? I don't know if it's because of last, because
But
most, yeah,
according to witnesses,
right,
Daniel Tufo and then Joanna, they've
yeah,
been in the relationship since the beginning of their schooling. That is from level 100 to level 400. So they've known
oh
themselves for a quite number of years on campus. And most witnesses are aware that these people are dating. I don't know
okay,
whether you've heard of that part before.
no, this is my first time.
Oh, okay. Well, I did heard about that part.
uh well, i I just don't get the whole thing. I don't, because this, like, I mean, to the extent of the girl being killed, that means it went really extreme, whatever that was going on. But then I don't think I can give a very solid input because, as I said earlier, I don't really know about that story. Please, was this topic shared earlier? Because I didn't receive anything like it.
Was I personally sent the video on the WhatsApp platform.
No, I didn't
So
receive.
if you could if you could remember this message, I did notify everyone to watch the video. I don't know if
No,
anyone had that message on the WhatsApp.
I'm checking it right now. Okay, so what I saw was you texted in a group that please let's watch the above videos, right? But then
Yes.
I didn't see any reference to any videos. You get it? I think maybe because I joined recently or something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think
Yeah, yeah.
maybe.
So like I'm so lost. I don't know what's going on. My apologies for that. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, welcome. So, according to witnesses, they said that the guy has been abusing the lady physically. Sometimes he slapped the lady and beat her, kind of manner. Okay. And the school called the guy and the lady and they involved their parent to stop the relationship on campus. And I think they still went ahead with their relationship, and then suddenly this news came out. So, according to the report, and then the footage on campus. KNUST or some of these universities, they do have cameras on around. So according to the footage recordings, the witness or they saw the guy tried forcing himself on the lady. I mean, killing the lady. Yeah, killing the lady in that way. And the day that incident happened, after committing that incident or after killing the lady, he went in the same attire to write his paper. And the invigilator was able to notice the attire the guy wore to the hall to write the exams. So when the issue came out and the police and other experts were finding out, answers to the questions, okay? So the invigilator told the team that on this day, this was the particular day the guy wore to come to the hall to write his exams, okay? And there are a whole lot of evidences that what shows that the guy is the main suspect, okay? But once they haven't concluded everything, you wouldn't pinpoint that he was the one who did it. All right. So that is what I can say for now. Hello, Eben Kote, do you have something to add up to it if you are free at your end?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, I think what we should do is that sometimes we shouldn't go by accents because like men we tend to be hyper, and then there's kind of emotional kind of thing like being hyper leads to a whole lot of chaos and then calamities. So in doing this, we should just analyze and sit down and then realize, have a second thought about actions before we do them, or else we will land in a very critical condition as we to fall in right now. So I think we should just reconsider relationships if you are ready for relationship now, and then if it will be a long term or a short term one. But I think at this age we should just focus on ourselves, building our capacities and all those stuff, instead of just going to a relationship and then end up in a condition we wouldn't want to see ourselves in.
Okay, so what are some of the advices or what are some of the lessons we can learn from this story? So how can schools and the universities support students in identifying and escaping abusive relationship?
I think
So
we have guidance
I'll
and
start with okay, go ahead.
okay, so I think first off we have counseling and guidance. For those some universities, it's not really active and all those stuff because people feel like they are too big to go to that place to voice out to talk about how they feel and all those stuff. I think it should be enhanced more because sometimes you go there and then you see no one coming there. Sometimes you go there and then they'll be like the psychologist or whatever who is in charge of that office is not around. And I think that's also a deficit to a lot of young guys because like even though with the resources are there and all those stuff, then but then the activities, the low patronage of students, and then and, and then the professionals who are not available at the needed time is also a deficit, and then it should be enhanced more. We should do well about that, and the university should be doing more of this
Yeah, I do agree with
outreach
you.
outreaches outrageous more of this outreach because people feel like invest in the air. Like you see that shit that's out there that um
It's a free zone
guidance and
area.
counseling academy.
There's total
Yeah, you see that.
freedom, right?
You see that thing. And then I think they should think the status quo and then make it more like accessible. We can people necessarily we can't go there, but then when maybe you should call them, they should be available instead of psychologist is not around, come until later day, you go and then it's still not the professional is still not there. Like it's really not a good thing to consider. So that's my point. And then
Okay, that's a powerful one. Yeah, Mumuni, please, what are some of the lessons, or how can schools and universities support students in identifying and then escaping abusive relationship?
Yeah, first of all, the university is not like the primary or the secondary school where teachers get to know students very well and the dealings they do on their various campuses. So I think with the lessons that is supposed to be taught by university is that as part of their orientation, that always happens at the first year. They should include something like how to go about relationship on campuses. Because looking at these things, most of the people that always fall at victims are those the current freshers, and if they start and it get to a point that they cannot get themselves out of it, they are forced to continue with it till they finish school, and that alone can make their stay on campus very, very terrible. So I think what institutions should do is that as part of their orientation processes for freshmen, they should try to include talks on relationship, how to go about them on campus, especially romantic relationships. So that's what I think university can incorporate to reduce the risk of deaths related to romance relationship.
Yes, Mumuni, you are right. You are right. So, in addition to Mumuni, what you are saying, so I also think that in creating awareness on healthy relationship on campus, okay, they can also bring or print out flyers educating the people or the students on campus about how to have a healthy relationship. You can't stop them from engaging or having a relationship on campus. Okay, the authorities can't stop them totally because they are matured people. Okay, so what they need to do is that they need to ensure that the students having their affairs on campus are a healthy one. Okay, a healthy one, not the other side. Okay, and the red flags of what abuses. Okay, they should educate them on the need to desist from abusing your partner or your relationship partner and stuff. So that's it. Okay, Boache, Mumuni, thank you for your contribution. Boache, please, what do you have to say?
Okay, so all has been said. So I will just also add that universities can organize awareness campaigns to raise awareness, domestic violence, dating violence, and other abusive acts that may occur in a relationship. And this awareness, bystanders should also intervene if they should see such thing, because some people may just say that it is not my relationship, it's not my problem. Whatever they are doing, let them do it. But it may be your sister somewhere or your brother somewhere. So when bystanders see something like this, they can take the initiative to approach and try and solve the matter. So that would be one way in which everyone hand in hand can prevent such from happening.
Okay, thank you very much, Boache. I nearly added Yabdom to it. Okay, let me come to Sharif. Sharif, please, what do you also have to tell us or share with us?
Yeah, so far I think the inputs are great. They cover everything that is feasible. About what I think is, um, I think like basically everything. First in like when they come freshly as Mumuni, I think it's here. Mumuni said when they come fresh in the university, that's the most important thing. So if you're able to psych their minds to be aware of these future threats, I think there will be so much. Resistant or kind of like they'll be protected in some way, or maybe have thoughts about how to go about this stuff. Because as one of the inputs also, when you can't stop them from dating, it's not SHS or JHS that the teacher to student ratio is not that big. You're talking about thousands of people. So, and then people are adults, so the best you can do is just provide what provide what they need, whether it being the side effects, everything, healthy side and everything. Basically, let them know everything about what it can cause and everything at the very first stage. This is important because um, when they come in first, mostly they are lost. They don't know what most of them, a significant percentage, don't really know what goes on. And then yeah, so I think, but then successively, right, when they move to 200, 300, I think there could be some sort of like awareness around, so that as humans we don't remember everything. Somebody on the first day that somebody hears it, he or she might put it to heart that he's going to act on this or something. But then when the person gets to second year, third year, fourth year, things he might forget or something. So yeah, just making sure it resonates with whatever they are doing. The message you give in level 100 or first year, you can sort of like provide a heads up in the incoming years also as well. Yeah, I think that's what I also have. But basically, everything is being said. Thanks already. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Sharif. Okay, so um, I also think that peer support groups can also help in ensuring healthy relationship on campus. And then, when this forum is being created, okay, you know, people who have experience are going to share their experience with other peers and friends and guide them on a rightful path, how to go about things. Okay, yes. And then I also think training staff and then faculty will also help to strengthen a healthy relationship on campus. The staff needs what they need training on how they are going to ensure that partners are not being abused physically or emotionally. That will lead to death, or that will lead to a serious problem on campus. Okay. Yes. So they need to also sharpen their stones very well. They need to equip themselves very well in helping to bring remedy to this alarming situation on campus. Okay, so I have just been notified that Ebenezer Kote is ready to take over. So Ebenezer, if you can hear me, please you can take over from here. Hello, Ebenezer Kote. Hello, Ebenezer Kote. Can you please hear me?
Hello, hello, hello.
Can you? Yeah, can you please hear me, Ebenezer?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so please kindly take over.
Okay, so everybody gave a very good submission. So moving forward, I think our next question will be is toxic masculinity driving Ghanaian men to kill in the name of love? What do you guys think? Do you guys have any fair idea about how toxic masculinity is damaging young men and then men in the Ghanaian society? So I would like Eben to give a submission.
Can you please come again with a question?
Hello?
Can you please come again with a question?
Okay, so the question is toxic masculinity driving Ghanaian men to kill in the name of love? Like, is it toxic masculinity like men should be this, men should be that, men should not act emotional, men shouldn't do this, men shouldn't do that? Is it driving Ghanaian men like to kill in the name of love? Like what do you think? Do you guys have any fair idea? Like, what's actually causing that kind of attitudinal change in Ghanaian men? So, like, I'll call on Ebenezer to give a submission.
Okay, so my input is that Ghanaian men, okay, we all don't have the same character, or we don't all portray the same character, okay? So every Ghanaian man has gotten his or her own, character when it comes to relationship, okay? But sometimes when there is too much pressure on the Ghanaian men or on Ghanaian men, when there's too much pressure, family is demanding something from them or expecting something huge from them. Work too is also expecting something big from them. Then the relationship too is also, taking something from them. So at the end of the day, the central person is being under pressure. Okay, too much is being expected from that person. So a whole lot of, stress on that person, and if care is not taken, might result in something bad, or how the person will react to you, you wouldn't like it. Not that the person is not nice or not responsible or not educated, just that when the pressure is too much on the person, can't result in something bad. Yeah, I think that's what I can see for now.
Yeah, I also understand the fact that we're all raised differently and all those that, but then, like, is it any common traits that you can see across every Ghanaian man, or we are still different in our own ways and then different in our upbringing?
So I think in general, Ghanaian men in general, let me say they are very let me say they are very disciplined. Okay, they expect the right thing to be done. Let me put it that way. So if
Oh
they
yeah,
notice
and
that
do
you
you
are
think
not,
it's having a positive or a negative impact so far?
oh, so far I think it's having a positive impact. Yeah, it's having a positive impact. I wouldn't say totally. Okay, there's also a negative
Yeah,
impact. When you are too disciplined, you have a little disadvantage somewhere.
right.
So I wouldn't say total positive. That is what I would say.
No, okay. I also get your point. Okay, so we'll move on to Mumuni. If Mumuni is on the call.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, so
Mumuni, what's your take on what
yes, I think what
no?
Lisa, can you come again?
What's your take on the question and then what Eben said in general? Do you have any idea or submission?
So, with regards to the question, what I think every Ghanaian man should take into consideration in these kind of cases, distance, like distance. So definitely before this kind of case will happen, there's something that will prompt the case to happen. And in the beginning too, you may not be able to tell whether it will end the way it has ended. But by then, like as in there will be some kind of unease in you. So at the moment that you begin to feel that kind of ease, that's where you need to get yourself some distance from the person you are with in order to be able to avoid these kind of situations in future.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, this dancing is a very good. It's a good thing to do. It's good coping mechanism. Like if you are seeing that things are not going on well, like just distance yourself. But I heard some rumors that even though the girl was advised and all those that she was finding it difficult to stay away. Do you think some people are driven by being toxic? Like people like do you see like girls like men that are toxic, or what do you think? What's your point?
I don't think ladies and Kasa like men that are toxic. But you know, in every relationship, there's one thing that will holds the relationship. And let's say I I'm the guy, then I know that kind of that one thing that is able to hold the relationship. You know, and it happens that I'm very good at that thing. And it may also be there can also be two situations that can that will make the girl not to leave. It's either that she has not seen someone with that kind of quality that makes her happy in the relationship, or that's the first time of being in the relationship, and in the beginning of the relationship, she was made comfortable, she was given assurance. Like I said, she was like thinking that in this whole world, there is no partner that can make her feel at home than the partner that is abusive to her. So in that kind of situation like this, the lady will find it very difficult to leave. But there's also a notion that some ladies and Kasa they just like violent men, and that one too is there. But with these situations, you cannot be able to tell whether the lady she likes violent men, or it was her first person that was it was her first time that she was in a relationship, or there was something that the guy was doing that she couldn't find from any other guy again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Okay, so that's a good submission. And then okay, so Boate, what's your take? And then what's your this is so far? What's your ideology so far? What's your
Okay. I think I went off a while and I'm back. Is the question still about toxic masculinity or it has been changed?
it hasn't, we are still on the topic, but then the submission so far, what's your take on it?
Oh, they are all in line. Yes. I just searched the meaning of the word toxic masculinity to understand it better. And
Okay,
it
so
says
please
here
share
that
with us.
it is a traditional masculine norms that promotes aggression, dominance, and suppression of emotions. I always hear this statement made by women on podcasts and stuff. I never gave it that much thought until now. So if this truly is the definition, then ah, maybe in the olden days, way back, when the men were known as the lords of the house. Yes, dominance and stuff. But in today's modern era, I think it has actually rather gone down. So I don't see why women are still talking about toxic masculinity. That is in my case.
How do you evaluate that it has gone down? Have you made any observations, or you're coming from a point where you think that it has diminished in the system in the current trends and all in the current currently contemporary times, like as it changed?
Okay, so from the definition, I'm taking that of the dominance. Right now, in a family setting or in a relationship setting, the man is not all that dominant anymore. In a household where the man works and the woman also works, both have a source of income. If it were the case where the woman is a housewife, and we can say that this man has all the authority, he's the head of the house, whatever he says goes and stuff like that. So in a relationship also, I would say it will be the woman's fault if she allows this man to have such toxic masculinity over her, because there are many men around. So if you find one and the person is treating you this way, all you have to do is just leave such a person. You don't have to stay in a toxic relationship and being beaten turn into a punching bag and stuff like that. So that is my take on that.
Yeah, right. Very good point. Yeah, no one should be treated that way. So, Sherry, what's your take? Do you think Ghanaian men are raised to equate love with control dominance? And what's your take?
Please come again. Do I think
Do you think Ghanaian men are raised to equate love with control or dominance?
they are raised to control?
To equate love with control and dominance.
They are raised to control love and dominance.
Equate love with control or dominance.
Okay, okay. So do I think Ghanaian men are raised to equate love with dominance?
Yeah, control
Like,
or
I don't
dominance.
get you. I don't get you very well.
I think,
Like the
do you,
Mhm.
do you think like men were raised to like instead of showing love, they show love through like controlling or being dominating in the relationship. What do you think that way?
Okay. Um, so the question is about if men are like raised to like dominate in relationships.
Like
Yeah.
instead of showing mutual love and affection, they tend to be
So like more like saying are Ghanaian men raised to be romantic or something?
Eben, Ebenezer.
I'm here.
Kindly help in a situation. I think like help clarify the question for us.
Can you
Like
repeat your question again?
are Ghanaian men raised to equate love with control or dominance?
Okay, well, I think Ghanaian most of the Ghanaian men are raised to be, I mean, caring when it comes to relationship. Okay, so most of them they contribute a lot in relationship. Or what I mean is that they are emotional when it comes to emotional aspects. They don't joke with it at all. Okay, and when things are going wrong, that is where they become so strict, and then let me put it that way, when they become so strict, and if you don't take care, they might abuse you. Okay, they might hit you. Because if you do something, if you're a lady and you do something continuously and they tell you that, oh, this we are doing, it's not good, you need to put an end to it. I don't think the person will always be patient with you. When things are getting worse, the person will try to shape in you or to put you on the right path.
Okay, and do you
So I
think so
think
far, do you think so far it's appearing in relationships or marriages? Is it
you said,
portraying
do
it
I think so far is
portraying in relationships and marriages?
well, I think with that one, with the relationship aspect, every partner or every relationship has gotten its own level of discipline and then abuses coming out of it. Okay. When the partners understand themselves very well, you wouldn't hear any of abuses, arising from the relationship. Okay. Although there might be a little misunderstanding, but it wouldn't be as much as of hearing of maybe killing, excessive beating, and all that.
Yeah,
So
you're right. Yeah,
I think it's minimal.
yeah, that's a good submission. Yeah. So I think Sherry, you should have an idea by now.
No,
Sherry,
yeah, not entirely.
do you think you were raised to equate love? Hello?
Yeah,
Over?
yeah. Hello.
Okay, so let me move to Mumuni. By then I think you should get your points out and then you should give me your submission.
So if you ask me, are Ghanaian men meant to equate love to dominance? I would say no. So first of all, what love meant to me, or what I understand by the word love, is something that is is supposed to be mutual between the lady and the man. And anything that happens to be mutual, then that means both parties should have control in whatever thing is happening between them. So if Ghanaian men are meant to equate love to dominance, that will bring us to the situation where ladies will be like, men are supposed to be providing anything, and it will in some way, like in a relationship, you'll be like the man is supposed to take responsibilities of the lady. Meanwhile, they are not married; they are just merely in the relationship. So I think in general, men are not meant to relate to equate love to dominance.
Oh, okay. But I think like mean, like let's say the father is hard on the person, and then how the father shows affection to the mother is being put on the face. Like he sees everything, the child is seeing everything, the child is raised. There will be, it will still have an effect on the child. So like that's how the person will be raised, and then that's how they are going to be in relationships and then marriage. Or it's still not. Mumuni,
This I
Mumuni.
didn't get you. Yes, please, I didn't get what you are saying.
I think I don't know if you've heard stories about other scenarios where the person like men about domestic violence against women, like men beating them and then controlling and then being dominant over this in the relationship. Don't you think they were some Ghanaian men were raised to be like that? Like since maybe their father, they see their father controlling their mother and then being dominant. They feel like as a man you should dominate, you should do this, you should control your wife. You see that kind of stuff. Don't you think it will still prevail in relationships and then marriages?
You see, with this kind of situation, I don't think, okay, it may happen that as a Ghanaian man, you are growing up, then you happen to see your father being in control of your mother, is being abusive and all those kind of stuff. But I know deep down your father's heart, you pray that you grow up not to be that kind of person. So sometimes they are forced to do things that maybe they don't like, and they will not like to see their children in this kind of situation. So traditionally, I don't think Ghanaian men were raised with that kind of thing. But sometimes too, as a child growing up, then you see all those kind of things. They will say a child is born with the brain empty, tabula rasa. Then he grows up to learn whatever thing he sees in the community. That's a situation where men will now grow up to be very abusive, because he sees that in a community or in a society, men were very abusive to ladies. So in that case, he's just supposed to be that way when he grows up. So with that, that's what brings about men going to be aggressive, or they are supposed to be aggressive. But in an actual sense, our tradition, for all I know, Ghanaian tradition will not teach that. I think that's why currently almost all the institutions are fighting against that. And if you also take a look at the SDG goals, I think one of the goals fights for human rights. And fighting for human rights too is very broad. That's why they brought about those institutions, Amnesty International, Sud, and all those kind of stuff. So traditionally, I don't think even in the old world, men are not supposed to be abusive to women when they grow up. So I think that's my submission.
Oh, okay. That's a good one. Very thoughtful. I'll call on Boache. Boache, do you think we are being treated fairly? Do you think men are being treated fairly in terms of like these situations?
Please the question again.
Do you think men are being treated fairly in these situations? Like, do you think there's something we need to speak up about?
When it comes to which issue in particular, please?
Okay, like the fact that they show that we are the preconceived notions that we are controlling and we recognize in marriages. Do you think there's something to be done that would change that narrative?
Yeah. Men can do a lot to change the narrative. Yeah, that one there, it is true. However, it's also a collective effort, both the men and the women in the relationship. Just as last week relationship we last week's discussion was all about men speaking up. Men speaking up. I also believe that in such a way, just as we are having these conversations, when the women are also educated on how men feel and stuff, I think it will begin to strike a balance in that issue. Thank you.
Hello. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, Sharif, what's the submission as well on this same topic, on this same issue? Like, do you think men need to voice up? Like, it's always been conceived out there that men are controlling and dominant. Do you think it's an entire truth? There's some truth. There's an iota of truth in this statement out there, or do you think we need to voice out? We need to make a change. Do you think there's something to be done? And what can we do as young people growing up, as a young Ghanaian man growing up? Do you think there's something to be done? Because I don't think any of us will be controlling or dominant. Sheriff,
Hello.
yes. Did you hear me?
Yeah, not so clear, not so clear. Can you please repeat what you said?
Mumuni, Sheriff, any of you guys can take the question, please. Or Eben. Hello.
So what I think is that, when you are in a relationship with someone, okay, you shouldn't exercise total control over your partner. Okay, there should be balance. If you exercise total control over the person will easily end up things with you. She will feel like, why are you always controlling me? Why are you always dictating for me? And blah, 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 blah. Our ladies, they complain a lot. They like complaints. Okay. So they don't want to be under total control. Okay. So there should be that balance between you and your partner. Okay. You need to have a good, communication, effective one with your partner. When your partner goes wrong, you need to have a nice way to talk to your partner so that the person will not feel that, no, you hate him or her. No, it shouldn't be that. Okay, there should be moderate in dealing with things. That is what I think.
Okay. Okay. Also think that we should. Yeah. Yeah. That's right. But I also feel that we should. We can. It will be difficult though because that narrative has been there since. But in our little corners, in our little way, we can change that narrative. We can do something. I know most of us here aren't like that. We won't be controlling and then dominant. And so any little thing we can do in our own way to change the narrative, I know we will possibly do that. Okay, so then let's move to our last topic and then we we go about our activities for the evening. So our third question is, how do high bride price demands affect young men emotionally and financially? And then I think Mumuni can do us the favor and then take us through.
This, I didn't get the question clearly. Can you say it again?
How do high bride price demands affect men emotionally and financially? Do you think it does? How does high bride price demand? Of late there has been an addition to the traditional bride price that was initially there. So like there has been an addition. So like, do you think how does it affect men emotionally and financially? What's your take on that?
Okay. So, all right. To start with, I think bride price is something that, should I say, ties the knot, and it's something that in one way or the other it must not, and it can never be taken out of the system. But by then, to relating the tax of bride price, the high tax of bride price to financial and emotional effects on the men is something that is very broad. So let's say, talking of the emotional effects it puts on the man. So let's say I'm a man and I'm coming to pay for a bride price, and they are giving me high bride price to pay. Emotionally, what it will occur to me is that, oh, like that means they are selling my wife to me. And in that case, if I'm buying my wife, anything I want to subject her to, I want her to do, I should be able to do it. Then she should obey my command. And I think it's a very bad thing. And that's one of the things that causes most of most broken homes after marriage or divorces after marriage. So financially too, it does a lot to the man. So it drains the man. And what that means is that if the man is also someone that is that wealthy and they're demanding that he should pay a bride price that he cannot afford, he will be tempted. He will be tempted to do a lot. If he's someone that is civilized, and he will be tempted to go for loan, then all those kind of stuff. And with that said, he can be tempted to do some fraudulent activity that will earn him money, which is very bad. And some people too that are not civilized, or maybe they feel lazy to take responsibilities of that, then that's where they will end up in armed robbery cases, theft cases, and all those kind of stuff. A lot. So I think high bride price shouldn't be made very high. It should be made very affordable to everyone to avoid all these things.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. It's very bad. It's because of how things are done in contemporary times. That's how then it's causing people to fall back. Young men really want to marry. Young men like want to marry and then get companionship and then all the other benefit it comes to marriage. But then because of this high bride price issue or thing, it has made them fall back. And I think it's really causing emotion because if you don't have the money to afford all these things, like you can imagine the emotional breakdowns you would have. So, Eben, what's your take?
Okay, so I also think
It's now
so
where
as my brother Mumuni rightfully said, okay, with bride price, okay, is a token that is being paid to the parents of the bride family for upbringing their daughter and then showing respect to the bride family. Okay. So now, when a young man, okay, is interested in a lady and the young man wants to settle with the lady, okay, traditionally, you need to do the needful by informing your family members, and then your family members will go and talk to the lady's family that, oh, our son, Kweku Esiedu, is interested in your daughter, and we want to ask your daughter in marriage. So the lady's family will also give the guy's family some period for their daughter to, make decisions for herself. Oh, so and so came to us that, their son is interested in you, and do you agree to that proposal, or do you wish we support you, settle with the lady? So when the lady approves, then the then the bride or the lady's family will communicate or will give feedback to the guy's family to prepare. That is to prepare and come and settle their bride price. Okay, will come and maybe pay their bride price. But this time around, the list they bring out sometimes is too huge. Sometimes in
right.
some communities, the gentleman is being expected to bring about 2 cow, three, maybe a number of bags of rice, a whole lot of cloth and bags, a whole lot of stuffs. And emotionally and psychologically, sometimes it's too a heavy burden on the guy. Okay. The guy needs to provide all this before the person settle with the lady. That is so, sometimes it's so hurtful. But once you are interested in the person, you find ways and means to, provide all these things. Okay. So although the lady's family, they've spent a lot in bringing out their daughter. Okay. They need to be considerate too. We know they've paid university fees, they've paid a whole lot of money for the upbringing of their daughter, but it shouldn't be too much expensive. If you do that, then as Mumunu said, you are selling your daughter. Or don't you think so?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You are selling your daughter, because if you
Okay.
demand so much items from the guy and then he's able to provide, I don't think. Some might treat the lady well, some too might, treat the lady badly. Okay, but in those days, the bride price wasn't something huge. It wasn't something huge offered to the family of the bride. Okay, it was something moderate, something presentable to the bride price family, uh, just to honor and show respect to them. But this time around, I think it's been a fashion in the system.
Right.
And this time around,
But
money too is scarce. Money is scarce to come by.
right. But do you think
So
it's too much because you pay bad price and then you go and pay a contact like
yes, you definitely have to present something for the Akontasenkai. Yes, because they also contribute to the upbringing of their daughter or the bride.
But do you think it's about time that young people like you love each other and then we move on to do our things without any strings from the family side? Like, do you think it's about time or so now we should go to the traditional process, knocking, whatever, and then finally getting married? Do you think we should still follow the norms, the traditional norms, or like there should be a change? I think Sharif and then Boachi can help us. Boachi, or the hello Boachi.
Yeah, I'm here.
Do you think like it's about time young people like finally agree that we love each other and then we should go along to marry. We shouldn't attach any family strings and then go ahead and marry. Or we should just follow the normal traditional norms. Like we should follow where you go for knocking, blah 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 before marriage, or like what do you think should be done? Looking at things
Well,
now.
it depends. It depends on the couple in person. So maybe the in the case of the girl or the woman, she may desire that they come home, see the family, do the needful, and get married. So if the bride price is too high for the man, I'm sure they can sit down and talk about it and negotiate. Because after the marriage, if there is an issue, you still have to come and settle it with the parents of the bride. So, as our tradition, it will not be, in my opinion, it will not be very good to take out the family from it and then do things on your own. That may not help. But every reasonable father, if he is spoken to, you will try to make the bride price something that the groom can bear. So in my case, I will not just take the woman and marry her and then without the consent of the family. I will not do that.
Right. Mooney, what's your take? Okay, like maybe you would have to inform the parents, but then like you guys that was move do a little bit of different thing. Like the world is changing. We are in contemporary time. People are having white marriages, doing court marriage, and then that's it. So, like, what do you guys think? Um, Eben, Ebenezer, Nyako.
Um, Eben, can you please brief me on the question?
Okay. As Bachi discussed, the same. I think it's the same topic, but then in a different accent. Like, do you think we should still follow the traditional norms, like where we marry and all those stuff, or we should just like, oh, we told the parent that this and this, you love me, I like the person back, you get their blessings, and then if you want to give them any little thing or any amount, you do, and then you go ahead to marry without any strings, any like traditional strings from the parents. Do you think we can do that,
Okay,
or we
so I think we can't do away with the tradition. Okay, the tradition. If or let me put it that way, and the traditional wedding. Okay, that is the best and the basis of marriage. Okay, once you are done with that, then the marriage is concluded or is confirmed. Okay, so you can't do away with the tradition, right? So we have types of marriage. We have the customary marriage, we have the traditional marriage, and then we have um yeah, we have other types. So when we come to the court aspect, okay, even with the court, before they sign the papers, the family members of these two parties needs to what agree. If they don't agree, you can't go ahead and then go and sign the papers. No, they need to agree. So when they go to the law court and then they want to sign the papers, the lawyer or the one chairing the program will invite maybe two family members from the guy side and then another two family from the ladies side, so that what they all agree or they all witness in case there is a problem in the future. They all bear witness that so so and so came together on this fateful day to sign an agreement, this marriage agreement. You get it? Now, when it comes to the tradition one too, it involves the two families coming together, meeting to give the approval on the union of these two lovers, right? So basically, the traditional one, you can't do away with it. Mm. Just that you can make a little amendments or changes in it, as in the items you are supposed to present, if it is too costly or if it is numerals. Okay, they can reduce the number, right? They can reduce the number, because if you list a whole lot of items, or if you request a whole lot of stuff from the guy's family, and they use all the guy use all his savings, life savings, to get all these items for you, and at the end they get married to your daughter. They will go to the house, and then 1 week going, you will see them, having some financial difficulties, which is very bad. I hope you do agree with me.
do? I entirely agree with you. Okay, so
Yes. So,
nice having your submission.
so
Um,
that is what I think.
okay, but I also know that I'm also like I also share your same thoughts and or your submission. I think we can't do away with the traditional norms, but we can, as you said, we can do the traditional norms and then maybe rectify one or two things or make some amendments to how things are things are not in favor of the Ghanaian young Ghanaian man who wants to marry. Okay, so on this note, thank each and every one of us for your time and then resource and everything, like devoting your time towards this evening's discussion. my heart goes to all of you guys, my boys, my guys. Um, Ebenezer, my co-host, Boache, Sharif, and then Mumuni. Thank you guys for everything. Like, we really appreciate. Okay, so guys, this is the main key, like the best, and then the only this is the main case conversation that we discuss things affecting young men and then men out there. This is an avenue to share our thoughts in our own way to make a change. This program is sponsored by Uche Foundation. Yeah, we are proudly sponsored by them, and then we are grateful. We are very grateful for this initiative for Ghanaian men to voice out. Okay, so thank you guys for your time and everything. Until next week. Yes, bye bye. Hello.